Hi, this month your numerology forecast comes to you via a podcast. So, we're going to be looking at August. How has your August been going so far? We are actually in a number 9 month. And how do we get to the number 9? So we're looking at the year 2017. 2 plus 1 plus 7 equals 10. And in numerology we reduce that down to a number 1. So we're in a 1 year, and then we come to August, which is an 8 month. We add the 1 to the 8 and we get 9. So that means we're in a global number 1 year, but we're in a global number 9 month. And that's quite an interesting paradox, because the 1 and the 9 are at opposite ends of the numerology scale. Obviously we start at number 1 in numerology and we end at number 9. The generations of numerology go round and round from 1 to 9. So that means that we're in a kind of a weird position this month, being globally focused on the 1 energy, which is very much to do with new beginnings, new starts. It's to do with self-sufficiency, self-reliance. It's all about originality, and we can see that planetary wise, that there is a lot of change going on, good or bad. There's a lot of new energy and new ideas happening. However, when we hit a 9 month in a 1 year, there's often a backtracking. The 9 is actually about going within. It's about taking stock of where we've been. It's about reviewing. And the 9 is really important because it's a place where we need to come to in order for something new to arise from. If we don't have reflection on where we've been, and sometimes even what's going wrong or things that aren't going our way, then we can't fully come to the deeper realizations and the insights that we need in order to birth something that is actually sustainable, realistic, and is in alignment with our whole self, not just our mind's desires and our frivolous desires and wishes. It's about coming from a place of our entirety, about what we really need, what perhaps is best for us. In this month, you might be meeting some things from the past, or you might be meeting some repeating patterns, and these things will keep coming up until they're dealt with. The way that they're dealt with is to look at them, to be with them, to feel the frustration, to feel that necessary feeling of difficulty, that feeling of annoyance, even desperation at habits and patterns and situations that keep coming around that we just want to release. This month, the number 9 is actually about release. It's your opportunity to be able to let go of and surrender the things that are holding you back. And the more that we go within, although sometimes it doesn't look glossy and we want to have a quick fix and we want to address something by taking action, action is very, very fundamental and important to moving forward. But often just being with and sitting with the things that are uncomfortable is a really, really fast way to accelerate and move on from what you no longer want. And that's because simply being with the feelings of things that we've carried around for a really long time, or things that trigger us in our daily life, actually gives us the ability to move through them. It's a very internal process. So my advice to you in this 9 month is to be able to stay with those things, to be able to let them come up and to let them end by being with them. August, traditionally, as an 8 month, outside of the numerology global number, 8 is to do with satisfaction. When we come to August, we're about 2/3 through the year. So you might be feeling now, how has your year been going? Where are you heading to? Sometimes people even start to think toward the end of the year as we come up to this month. Traditionally in the UK, August, by the end of the month, the summer starts to close. Although, interestingly enough, the weather here in the UK has been enough to mirror these quite oppositional number 1 and number 9 energies. Just within 1 day, we could have some glorious sunshine sitting out, and then the next minute some torrential looking rain. So it's really important to embrace these differences, this variation and this change that we've been seeing in the weather also. August, as I said, is about, traditionally it's about harvest. It's about being able to reap the rewards for what you have so far put energy, effort and focus into this year. And It's your opportunity to be able to reward yourself, to think about how far you've come, to be able to be really with the progress you've made, because also the number 8 and 9 can be quite different from one another. The number 1 is really about the individual. However, the number 9 is really about the group. So this month you may find yourself drawn to being in a group, doing more group activities. You might feel yourself drawn into acts of kindness and selflessness. The number 9 in numerology represents the end of an era. It represents being selfless and being humanitarian. So some tips for you this month to negotiate the very different energy of the number 1 leadership year we're in and the number 9 month that we're now in, and to be able to bring in that ability to be moving forward but also pulling back. Here are your top tips. Throw out the old. Decluttering is a great thing to do this month. Stop an old habit. You might want to write down a habit that's really not serving you, not serving your body, not serving you mentally or emotionally. Look at that, see where it's come from, and be with that and see if you can actually seek to change that, to let it go. Look at healing an old situation. Is there any conflict or difficulty you're having in any of your relationships? What would that mean if you changed your idea about that? How would it feel if you let that go and you accepted that person just as they are? Let go, unwind and surrender. Whatever has been bothering you, let it lift off through the top of your head and let it go. Let it be no more and choose peace instead of stress. Have some time for nurture and reflection. Some space for yourself, however you do that, to check in and to just be with yourself. Call up an old friend or somebody you haven't seen for a long while. This can be a great way to get in touch with the old aspects of yourself that perhaps you've forgotten about. Let any situations from the past that come up teach you, inform you, and help you to move through and forward into a clean slate. Some things that you may want to avoid this month are starting anything really majorly new. It's often a good month to just let things float by. Careful not to repeat an old mistake. Try to be in your selfless self rather than your selfish self. Accept paradox. I've also picked 2 cards for you, and these can be useful to reflect on. They're very apt. The first one is abundance, and the second one is about beauty. Congratulations, it seems you're due for a little, no, an indefinitely big piece of abundance pie. Feel like you don't deserve it? Knock it off. It's already plated and ready to hit your table. Reluctant to take it? Shut your hole. Abundance pie is big enough to serve everyone. So get your whipped cream ready, unless you're lactose intolerant, and enjoy your well-deserved metaphorical dessert. So talking of August, it is your chance to really pat yourself on the back and be kind to yourself. And the other card, beauty. I'm beautiful even when I don't think it. I'm beautiful even when I don't see it. I'm beautiful no matter how many people don't say it. I'm beautiful and I don't even care if you know it. I'm beautiful, which is why I don't have to try so hard to show it all of the time. So there are your tips for the month. I hope you're going to have a good experience. Come what may, life is a mixed bag, and being with the moment is the best place to be. Not worrying about the future, not dwelling too much on the past, although the irony of it this month is that that may well be coming up for you more than often. The way to deal with the past and even thoughts about the future is to centre yourself and to be very much with your body and your feelings that you're having at the time. It can feel really hard sometimes when you're with a pattern or a trigger that's coming up, but as you're with that and deeply observant of yourself and just being with that, that's how these things really do shift, and that's how they end, because the more that you're with that, the less that reaction and that physiological response in your body is actually going to happen. So enjoy this paradoxical month, and I hope to see you sometime, somewhere, on another podcast, in a session, at a group, or something else. And coming up next month, there is also a mini group I'm holding. If you want any more information about numerology or coaching, then visit my website, www.lifepathinspiration.com. Have a peaceful and harmonious day, and take care. Bye bye.